So with our lovely Miss F, a lot of times I know Mom was mentioning how those proper hellos have been kind of trying. So remember that if she's really having a hard time with something, is sometimes even with you guys. So let's say she comes in a little hot and heavy even with you guys, make sure you're not sending mixed signals where if you are at times getting her to do some jumping or some engaging, and then she thinks there's value in coming to visit that way, you may want to get her in the habit of doing find its when you first enter, and then go into feeding and then applying some touch. If, let's say, for example, the touch equals a lot of excitement and she doesn't know what to do instead with her body, I find what can be helpful is do a little hand target, and then you might even go from that into some touches down the road or create a sit and then feed and praise and touch for her for while she's a little softer. So again, yes, nice job. So now, as opposed to coming right at me and going right into jumping, we could ask her to target a sit position. Ready? Sit. Yes. And then we could give her some loveys plus the food for being stationary on the floor. So if you're finding she's a bit of a jumping jelly bean, try to use movement behaviors like we've been mentioning over the weeks, but also make sure that if, let's say, we are by accident giving mixed signals, try to make sure everybody in the household has the same concepts down. So we might get that sit and then include some of this touch and feeling here. If your puppy tends to get really rowdy as you get low, the problem there is then your puppy might start to think that you going down on the ground equals let's wrestle, and you might not be a fan of it. So I would recommend she comes over, she offers this gorgeous little sit, we feed throughout it. If you're enjoying the caresses and so is she, then of course keep that part of it. If touches, lovely shake off though, so if touches were a bit overwhelming for her and she maybe does better with some puppy push-ups or asking for a target spot instead, do those as another item. So ready, sit. So we'll try and get that little focus. Yes, nice job, cuteness. So this is going quite nice. If again, if she gets a little too jazzy, try to redirect onto an item you'd rather. Sit. Yes, beautiful. So make sure for those proper hellos is to sometimes have it be neutral. So not always necessarily does she get and visit the new person every time. Other times it could be that make sure that we in the home are keeping it consistent. So I know for me, like I love it when my dog comes over and he comes to visit me and I have him jump up and I like hold him. If, for example, that's not your thing, don't worry about it. If you would want them to come visit, maybe put it on a cue. So if she likes to come snuggle with you on the furniture, or if she likes to sit on you with a certain chair, you can definitely still rock those skills. Ready, find it. But I would make it where there's a cue that involves coming in to visit and one where you're maybe all set. So you might have a go visit or come on up. And then otherwise, if she goes to jump up, ignore or redirect to the better. So if she does a little paw on me, I would maybe get a sit. Yes. And then feed for those responses. Nice job, madam. So again, as you're practicing with your lovely lady, remember these skills will evolve and become more refined, but only if we're still helping her work under threshold when first starting. So notice how as she's approaching, we're going right into this beautiful sit, and then we can add the touches or the caresses and build those in as we're not mouthing or jumping or playing. That was very nice, madam. So we'll give her a little break from that game.